Hello and good morning, good evening, welcome back. Welcome to Cloud and DevOps Batch 58. So before I start the session, I just want to give a quick recap on what's been covered in the previous session. Previous session, we are in the process of implementing this network. And as a part of the network, we created a big network with a range, okay, with a 10.10.0.0.24. And we enabled the communication for front end for the public subnet. But for the private subnet, you cannot connect to the instances that are available in this particular other network. Okay. Next, we also attempted to connect to the front-end instance, which worked. But from the back-end instance, if you attempted to connect, it will not, because there was no front-end instance. There is no public IP address. The only instance that can talk to this is front-end. But what if you have more than one network in your organization? Okay, what if you have more than one network in your organization? How do you enable communication between two different networks? That's where that's where VPC peering comes up into picture. VPC peering can be done between two different VPCs in the same network, in the same region, or in the same account, uh, different accounts, or cross region and different accounts. Okay, so yesterday, right after the session, I just turned them off. Okay, now I would like to start the instances to show you that. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, let me try to start all the three instances. Okay, now I just started all the three instances. Yesterday, as I told you, it's gonna take some time, and after that I had validated it. I just starting the instances after that. Okay, now I attempt to connect to this particular instance, which is nothing but the front end using the public IP address. It should work without any issues. But if I try to do it with private IP address, okay, let's see whether it works or not. As I said, from 172 series to 10 series network. Did you see this? Yesterday you were thinking, okay, it's not working, but it was working. It takes some time. Can you see this? Now for the front end, if you wish to connect to the back end, okay, which is nothing but the payment, obviously it will work. Okay, but if you try to connect to the private machine, which is nothing but payment from here itself, whether it works or not, we'll see. It will not work because for the expense machine in the security group, you need to enable it. Okay, you come here to enable the rule saying that. Okay. Okay. This one 172.31.0.0.16. If you not see this 172.31.0.0.16. So you enable this group. Now, if you try to connect to this, okay, that means if you're trying to connect from 172 network to the private machine, it should will work. Okay. Any questions on this? My mic is not working for some reason. Okay, all right. So it is working, right? Now, let's try to understand how networking works at corporate. Okay, so before I proceed, anyone has any questions? Okay, I also want to make sure, I want to show you how networking at corporate works. Okay, so so here what we did was this, right? We have two VPCs, this and this. You enable the networking, right? But what if okay, let's assume you are having multiple VPCs. Okay, let's call this as VPC A. So if you want to enable the peering in these cases, it's going to be very complicated. Let me tell you one thing. Okay, if A wants to talk to, if all four wants to talk to each other, okay, so it has to go through multiple hops. Okay, let me use green color, some other color. Okay, so A has to do 3 peerings. Likewise, if C wants to talk, okay, C wants to talk to D, B, E, you need to do the peering 3 times. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Likewise, if D wants to talk to A, B, C, then you need to do again the same story. Okay, this one done. Now, if B wants to talk to A, B, C, then what you need to do is again you need to do this. Okay, this time I'll be using green color. Okay, that's it. Okay, that means if you have just four networks, okay, to enable peering between these many networks, okay, A has to do 3. So it's a 3, 12 times peerings you have to do. Don't you think it's so complicated when you're having multiple networks? You got this question? Yes, you got this question?
Yes, sir.
It's a very famous and commonly asked interview question. That's when we do have a concept called as a transit gateway. Okay, let's talk about it. So networking, okay, if people wants to really see whether you know things or not, or you just coming through the sources of internet, you should be knowing this. Okay, so typically in some companies you use a lot of AWS accounts. Okay, so that's where, let me show you. You can use a component called as a transit gateway, just like internet gateway, transit gateway. Okay. So here in the transit gateway, you'll create and create transit gateway. Enroll VPCs. Okay, once you enroll this, now define the routes. That's it. Simple, straight. But me creating these many VPCs and all, it's a complicated thing. I just don't want to get into it. Okay, since you are going to enroll into this, okay, it's going to be very simple and straightforward. Okay. And then let's use other color, okay? Okay. All right. So this way, what you can do is you can define the transit gateway and you can enroll all these 4 VPCs here. You can define the rules. So what is the rule? Okay, well, if you want to talk to this guy, you can enroll this. Okay, that's what we can do. AWS transit gateway. Okay, so AWS Transit Gateway connects AWS VPCs, AWS accounts, and on-prem networks to a single gateway. If your networks are on-prem, this is nothing but the data center, you can also use the Transit Gateway. Okay, that's the main advantage of the Transit Gateway. So let's go to the Transit Gateway. So here, so features. Okay, so you can do the routing, transit gateway connectivity. Okay, this enables all the software defined multiple routing features. Okay, this is a very good feature, by the way. Okay, all right, clear? Any questions on this? This is what it says. Okay, you have AWS VPC, lot of networks, AWS direct connect, AWS VPC. You enroll them and then you just build it. And this is also called as spoke based architecture. Spoke, just like a wheel with multiple spokes. You have uh, this in place. Okay, there's the advantage. It just goes by a route table. Okay, it's a very straightforward thing. Okay, but this only, but this is not a free component. I want to make it very clear. This is a paid component, so you need to pay for it. Okay, obviously we are paying for everything, but this is not falling under the hands. Retire, you just need to go through that approach. All right, any questions on this, guys? Anyone? And I also want to show you how to delete this because we are doing it manually. Okay, we should know how to delete as well. So first I'll go ahead and delete this. Okay, and again, I intentionally left the resources not to be deleted, but in your case, once you are done with the practice, make sure you delete it unless until we don't hit the Terraform. I want to make sure you delete this because it costs you unwanted, unnecessary billing. Okay, now go and try to delete the associated security groups as well. expense, since I'm using the preference. Done. Next, once security groups are deleted, now go ahead and delete the associated route tables. Route tables are available in the because if you straight away go ahead and attempt to delete this, you might think, okay, if I delete this, everything will be gone, right? You can also do that if they permit, but if you see this is paired with something, this has contain add gateway, this has contain this, it tells all this. So you need to resolve the dependencies. But if you create the same thing with Terraform, Terraform will take care of it. Okay, that is the most important thing. I keep on saying that without Terraform, things are going to be very complicated. And this says that this route table is containing peering. So you need to delete the peering is what saying. So go ahead and try to delete the peering. So if you delete the peering, what if other route tables that are having this as a route is going to happen? So in that case, okay, earlier it used to show the black hole. Okay, if you attempt to delete a resource like NAT gateway or IGW, and if those entries are being used in a route table, it shows a black hole. But I think from last one and a half year, they introduced, if you delete the NAT gateway or you delete the peering connection, the associated route table should also be deleted. Okay, deleted route table entries. Done. Now you'll get the option to delete the, okay, go and try to create the route tables. Okay, route table have associations. Okay, now you need to delete the association. Edit subnet association. So get rid of it. See, you need to go through the whole manual process. If it is Terraform, you click a button, everything comes up. You click a button, everything comes up. Okay. Next, go ahead and try to delete the subnets. Next is NAT gateway and internet gateway. And if you attempt to directly delete the instance or this, it will not work. Just try to make sure what resources are dependent on each other, and then you need to delete accordingly. So next, go ahead and delete the NAT gateway. It's a very costly component, by the way, very, very costly. Okay, it says, so it says you cannot delete it because it is associated. Obviously, you need to detach it. And once the detachment is successful, oh, you're deleting the NAT gateway. I'm interested about the NAT gateway. So the deletion is still in progress. Then internet gateway. Why I cannot delete this? Okay, that's fine. Expense. Let's try to delete this. It says a subnet have interfaces that are associated. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, detachment is completed. And then once it is detached, you can delete this. Done. And once this internet gateway is also deleted, then you can go ahead and delete this.
In this case, like if you are deleting the entire VPC, then automatically will delete all the configurations which are done in that, sir.
Yes, but you cannot first delete. See, It's just like if your Linux folder is having resources like files, can you delete the folder without using recursively? No, right?
No,
So that
no.
means, likewise, if you want to delete the VPC, you need to make sure none of the resources are available on it, including route tables, subnet, instances, security groups, NAT gateways, and IGW. Okay? And that's the reason I'm following an order. If you directly go ahead and try to delete a security group, it says it is attached to an instance. And if you attempt to create a route table, it says that it is attached to a NAT gateway. And if you try to delete a public subnet, it says that NAT gateway is attached to it. So you need to understand the dependency and you need to work backwards. Okay, clear?
No.
Does it make
Yes.
sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Any questions? Anyone?
Raj, one more subnet is not deleted, I think. Expense public subnet.
Yeah. It's deleted now. It just took a while because I deleted the subnet, right? VPC, right? Since it doesn't have any resources apart from subnets, it just deleted that way. Okay. Any questions on this, anyone? Am I audible? Are we clear, guys, on this particular topic?
Yes, Manoj.
Okay, let's get started. Just want to stick myself with another concept, how networking works at corporate. Okay, so typically if you're having, okay, in AWS, okay, here are the ways that you can see or you can experience your AWS architecture. Okay, okay. Now here, for example, let's assume, okay, your company already has on-prem, okay, on-prem network. On-prem network. Okay, if anyone wants to connect to the on-prem network, obviously they will be having a VPN. People will be dialing to that VPN. Okay, so people who wish to connect, they will be connecting to the VPN like this. Okay, people will be connecting to the on-prem. Now, what if you are also have an AWS account? Okay, AWS accounts. Okay, let's say AWS account. And if the resources in this AWS account wants to talk to AWS account directly, okay, there is a service called as a direct connect. Okay, direct connect is a service on AWS where AWS has lot of point in presences. Okay, so where your connection, okay, this is AWS POP. POP stands for point of presence. Okay, your and this point of presence offers a dedicated connection to this network. Okay, now your data center will be connected to the AWS point of presence. Now this way, the resources in AWS like just like your databases or whatever you have created, they can connect. Okay, so these resources can talk to your network directly by using the VPN. Okay, this is not VPN, this is called as a direct connect. The main purpose of this is to enable the connectivity from on-prem to this, but this is very costly and not every company would use it. But if your company is a hybrid model, okay, in that case, this would be already in place. Okay, by the way, this is a dedicated link. Okay, it's a dedicated, just like a fiber link between your data center into the AWS account. Okay, but this is not possible all the time. For example, AWS even offers certain regions where it cannot have AWS Direct Connect service, where they don't have the AWS point of presence. Okay, so point of presence is a network center where from your data center you need to establish connection to AWS POP. From AWS POP, they already have connections, and this particular part won't be done by you guys. Okay, this will be done by the separate team called as a networking team. Okay, if in interview, if they ask you, have you done these connections and all these or not, typically in any of the organization, there'll be a separate team. Okay, how much ever we move to the cloud, okay, there will always be a network team who does that. This is one thing. And another way is, okay, people also go with a concept called as a VPN. Okay, AWS offers another service called as a site-to-site VPN. Site-to-site VPN. Again, this is software defined. Okay. So if you wish to connect to this, okay, if you wish to connect to any of the machines from on-prem or from anywhere, what you need to do is you need to connect to the site-to-site VPN from on-prem. Okay. So here what it's going to be tell is, okay, you're going to tell what are ranges of networks are allowed, and you'll authenticate yourself to this particular VPN with your credentials. Then you will be granted, then you can bypass to this network. Okay, you'll be bypassed to this network. Okay, and if you, that's the reason I was telling you, you can access your applications from office, but you cannot access your applications from home because you are not connected to the network. When I say not connected to the network, that also means okay, this is one way. Okay, this site-to-site VPN is not much costly when compared to AWS Direct Connect, but if AWS Connect is using it, if it costs you $100, it just costs you $5. Okay, that much costly AWS Direct Connect. If your company or if yours is a startup, if you cannot accommodate this much, you also have an option called as AWS VPN software. Okay, so where you can, okay, where there is another option. Again, I'm intentionally using different colors to make sure. Okay. Next, you also have an option if you cannot afford this and all. AWS VPN Connect. There is a VPC software is available. Okay, what you can do is you can install the VPN software on the top of any of the VM, and you can enable the connection from here to here. Okay, but this also comes up with cost, and this VPN costing is based on the number of users that you have. You need to end up paying licensing for. Okay, clear? Any questions? The ways that you can enable the communication. Any other questions, anyone? But I don't want to talk about site-to-site VPN, AWS Direct Connect, AWS VPN, because the moment I start dealing it will be like a networking class. But the crux of it remains the same. Okay, we have implemented this situation. This is how most of it is. Again, we'll deal this when time comes up. Okay. Any questions, anyone so far? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions, anyone? Is my audio audible? Continuously my voice is breaking, actually speaking. Can anyone confirm is my audio audible?
Yes, sir. Is audible.
Okay. So are we good with the networking concept, or you feel it's quite overwhelming? Srilata, Rachit, Mrudula, Ambit, Sridevi, Shalaja, Mrudula, Mahendra, Girisha, Ambit. What do you guys think? Yeah, Rachit. I thought you'll ask more questions, guys. You're not asking any questions. I know you guys will feel bored if I keep on talking Kubernetes. That's why I introduce a different topic in between, which is not related to that. However, we need to know.
No, this is a good topic. So
Yeah.
I have one question.
Go ahead, go
So
ahead.
for direct connect, if we have a large infrastructure or a high data transfer, in case we should use direct connect, right?
See,
We
you
will
use
not get
AWS
latency.
Direct Connect, okay, if you only want to enable communication between your on-prem to AWS. And if you say your entire account, entire project, entire infrastructure is AWS, then you don't even need this. Okay.
Okay. So in direct connect, there is a ISP role is required for configure network.
Yes, you need to work in collaboration with the network. Okay, there are some places where you can directly connect your network to AWS point of presence, but from your network to AWS point of presence, there is no network. Then you need to work with the local network to get these things done. Okay, this AWS Direct Connect Workload Service is the shortest path to your AWS resource. Okay, while you're in transit, your network absolutely remains in the AWS network. So if you enable this direct connect, 100% of the traffic communication between your data center and your AWS account is within AWS. Okay, this reduces the chance of hitting the bottlenecks or unexpected increase in the latency. Okay.
Okay.
And again, this can be done, okay, when you're creating this direct connect connection, you can choose the hosted connection, which is provided by AWS Connect Delivery Partner, or you can choose a dedicated connection from AWS and deploy at AWS Connect locations as well around the globe. But it's it depends on how you want, okay, how much money that you can invest and how much communication that you need to enable between those two. Okay, that's the main idea behind. And for example, if you say I want 100 gig speed, okay, I want the data, so that my data expectation is in between 100 gigs per second, 200 gigs per second. In that case, you have to go through data connect, direct connect only. Okay, AWS direct connect features. Let me show you that. I think they, if I'm not wrong, last time I read, it offers 400 gigs per second.
Okay.
Mm, yeah, it offers up to 400 gigs per second. Okay, so starting it and scaling up to this, so you can find the right connection for you. It's not like you just sign up for it, you get 400 gigs. No, you need to choose the plan, which one you want.
Yes.
Okay, but it's very, very, very big, by the way, very big. Okay, likewise, they also offer AWS site-to-site VPN. So here, even this offers the same, but the speed that offered in relation to the AWS Director is nowhere related to this. Okay. But again, I'm not saying this is bad. Okay. This is also a great thing.
Yes, it depends on the requirement of organization.
Exactly. It depends on what you want versus how much you can afford. It's not like I can only afford this much, but I want 400 gigs. No, you can't.
Yes.
Okay. So through this, you can enable communication from your AWS network to your on-prem. All right.
Okay.
Okay, I know that VPN sounds like a general term, but this main intention is to enable communication between these two, but this is purely software driven. But AWS Direct Connect is somewhere hardware related as well. Okay, but if you talk about this, okay, I think the speed is less than 100 gigs per second. I don't know. Okay, this is pay as you go model. Okay, so how many VPC connections that you can enable is also matter. It's not just you keep one VPN. Okay, you keep 2 VPN connections from your site to the site. Okay, if you take this as an example, okay, so between this to this, there are 2 VPNs you will enable, because if you lose one VPN also, there should be some other VPN. Okay, no one keep just one VPN. Okay, this is another example. Did you see this? So on-prem, your AWS network, I told you, right, transit gateway plays a very important role when you're dealing with site-to-site VPN. And if you see, they have created 2 tunnels. Okay, both of them can be active or active passive. That means both will be distributing the traffic, or one will be inactive and another will be traffic. Okay, typically one will be active and another will be passive. It picks up the load whenever this goes failover. Okay, and typically an organization, for every once in 3 months, they also make a DR drill to check whether the VPN switch is happening or not. Okay, these are the various models of VPN that you see. If you want to see the images of, okay, from your on-prem, physical connection, I told you, right? So direct connection location is nothing but AWS point of presence, where they maintain the network which is connected to AWS. This is how it works. But you get exponential speed, but speed comes with cost. Okay. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions? And this is not something from day one you have 400 gigs per second. Okay. Clear?
Yes, clear, Manoj.
Okay. I think let's take a pause for today. From tomorrow, we'll resume back to Kubernetes. Okay. We'll talk about pod priority, preemption, okay, some other concepts, and then we'll try to implement containerization and then pods, and then we'll take it forward from there. Okay. I'll try to increase the pace from tomorrow. Hope you're all adjusted. Ambit, you're clear so far? Girisha, Mahindra, Mridula, Rachit, Shailaja, Srilata, Sridevi, Arun,
Yeah, it's
Harish.
clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Practice
Manoj.
whatever is being covered so far, guys. Okay. It shouldn't be a one-man show. Okay. I also want you to put effort. Okay. So yeah, as I promised, there won't be any sessions, holidays further. All right. That's it. Let's take a pause. I know today's session is a little short, but that's fine. Okay. Thank you. Signing off.